Good morning. This is Debra V. Wilson. It is Sunday, the 15th of August. I'm in Bradford, in West Yorkshire, and the time is 1100 hours and 23 minutes, and that's BST, British Summer Time. I always have to repeat it because I'm still not sure. This podcast is about spatial awareness. In 2011, I flew back to the UK, to London, from Wisconsin. I was living in Wisconsin at the time, in the US. In London, and I had a conference to attend in Birmingham. And in London, I wanted to tie up my network. I was sure that this was the last time I was going to set foot on British soil. In any case, I attended the conference in Birmingham, and that will be another podcast. And I took a coach bus back to London and stayed for a couple of more days, and then headed out from the hotel to Heathrow Airport. I remember being quite sad about the fact that I thought, I'll never come back here again. That's a long story. You might want to ask the West Midlands police. They won't tell you. Oh no, I wasn't in trouble with the West Midlands police. I went to the West Midlands police for help. It's a long story. In any case, I waited for my taxi to show up. A young man, I was waiting in the lobby of this very large hotel, and this young man came in. He was a person of color, so this is going to be quite honest, and not black, but a person of color. I'm from Chicago, and I remember seeing him in the way he came in. He was thin, tallish, but even the way he walked into the hotel, it was deferential. It's very strange, but I remember thinking that, and I could hear him ask for Ms. Wilson, and the concierge pointed him in my direction. And then he came over walking really nervous and jittery and kept saying what a posh hotel it was. It's not. It wasn't then, it's not now. It's a very nice hotel, but most people call it a tourist hotel. But I still remember it quite annoyed me. The concierge was white, and it just bothered me how deferential this kid was. So in any case, he grabbed my suitcase and we headed to the taxi. He was just nervous and just chatting. It was just white noise because he was nervous, and he was intimidated by the hotel. He was intimidated by me, and I thought, for God's sakes, boy, get a grip. And I thought, oh, for goodness sakes. So I got in the taxi. I don't have a sense of direction. But I remember him confirming that I was going to Heathrow Airport. And I said, yes, Terminal 5. Okay, and he kept going on and on and on and on about he understood me, and it was just over the top deference. So the journey started. Now, I couldn't tell you. I'm in my 60s, and I started traveling to London in my 20s. And so it's nearly a 40-year span. I can't tell you, I'm clueless. What the exact path is to get from the hotel that I typically stayed in to Heathrow Airport. But one thing I knew that was odd, we were seeing the same places twice. I thought that was odd, and I was the only passenger. So it wasn't that he was picking up someone else. And I thought, okay, he not only has a self-esteem issue, I'm getting a little worried about his skill set. Okay. So then he asked me if I liked music. Well, I don't like music. I love music. So I just simply said, yes, I do. And he started playing some music. It was the type of music I liked. And then I started thinking to myself, even though I don't know how to get from point A to point B, and point A and point B are separated by 3 inches, I still don't get it. I don't have a sense of direction. I don't know my right from my left. I thought to myself, this isn't, this is, because now we've seen the same places 3 times. Well, the funny thing is, the fare was already taken care of, so I didn't think it was trying to beef up the fare. And the oddest thing in the world, I didn't feel like there was anything malicious going on. And I remember looking at him, and our eyes met. They felt like they met when I was looking in his rear view mirror. Then I realized these were places that I frequented in London. Think tanks, my favorite places to shop, my favorite universities to attend conferences, in which I attended conferences and other speaking events that I attended. I remember thinking to myself that he was taking me through what my journey had been, parts of it, my journey in researching UK national security. He was giving me a glimpse of the work I had done in London. Well, we got to Heathrow Airport, and I was really confused about who he was and what he was. But I had my suspicions. In any case, I got ready to get out of the taxi. He said, "No, please, madam, if you would wait, I'll get the door for you." Well, he did. Now he was confident, concise, and the shuffling was gone. We made eye contact with each other again. Well, such as I could, because again, I had come to London to finalize some things and say goodbye, and to attend a conference in Birmingham. And I had done that. And now I was being taken through who and what I was in London, who and what I am. I've interviewed and I've talked to some intelligence officers, spies that I know were spies. They were spies, and I guess they still are. Some are retired. Once a spy, always a spy. I've talked to some people that I suspected were spies. I've talked to some people I'm pretty sure Britain thought was spies, at least SO15, by the questions I was asked. I've talked to spies in 3 separate countries. This is one of them. The biggest engagement I've had with spies, I guess is more accurate to say I've listened, is they've explained to me how they understand a situation, how they see it. I don't know if I always agree with them, but the spatial awareness has never left me. This constant desire from spies to see a space clearly and to respond to it appropriately. I'm a civilian. I'm a civilian who's met a heck of a lot of spies. Oh my God. Now you can ask SO-15 about that. You can ask a couple of other countries about that as well. SO-15 is counterterrorism police out of the Metropolitan Police Service. So, and I've talked to, well, had conversations with many of them about my work and about interviewing people that I think were probably spies. Well, it's good to have spatial awareness. It's good to see a situation clearly and to respond in the most appropriate manner. I'm glad I came back here. I need to adjust how I'm seeing things to see them more clearly. I need a greater spatial awareness. And then I need to respond in a way that's most productive for myself. So I'm going to try to think like a spy who cries all the time, because I cry all the time. I'm fighting back the tears now. I used to when SO-15 when they were interviewing me when I would come in the country, and so the deal was, who was I going to interview now? There were some interesting people I interviewed, and I get so happy talking about my work. Oh, I love it. So I would start crying. It wasn't a tactic to manipulate them. I wasn't upset. No, I was so happy. But boy, their response, is there something wrong, madam? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. But spatial awareness. But in any case, how do you understand the situation and the space you're in? And are you responding in the most productive manner? I don't think I am. I think there's a reason for that. And I own that reason. And I think it's a very valid reason. But I still know that it was the right thing for me to come back here. I know where I belong here. Oh, researching national security policy and interviewing a spy or two. I mean, seriously, I love it. I just love it. It is just amazing to sit and listen to them. I'm a person that likes to understand strategy. So even if I disagree with your strategy, and by the way, the spies I talked to were foreign to this country. Yeah. Yeah, the internal spying agency here is MI5. You ain't gonna get very much out of them. And chit chat, you're just not gonna get very much out of them. It ain't happening, but So, in any case, I'm going to be working on my spatial awareness and how first of all, how I understand a situation, how I'm moving through a situation. Oh my God, if I could tell you the situation. And the best course of action, the strategy. So today is going to be a day that I remember the spies and think fondly about the people that gave me time so that I could hear how they understood a situation, a part of the world, or the world itself. This is Debra V. Wilson. Thank you for listening.